Welcome to Cake Bites, where we go rapid fire with this week's rule breaker. Fast questions, real answers, zero corporate polish. I'm your host, Elizabeth Bieniek. Let's dig in. We're here with Jonah Lantto for Cake Bites. Jonah, are you ready?
I am ready. Let's do it.
All right. My first question. When you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up?
I wanted to be a rock star or a ninja.
Oh, those are
And I
both
think
really
on
good.
some level, with my regional celebrity that I've developed from the podcasting world and MC, I think that I'm maybe a low-level, entry-level rock star, but I'm definitely not a ninja.
Well, you still have time to work on the skills. There's always time. What's the one thing you've learned recently about yourself?
The one thing that I've learned recently about myself is that I'm afraid of letting people down.
Hmm.
And that is sometimes something that drives me, that motivates me, and even gets me involved in things because then I'm forced to challenge that and overcome that and deliver. And I don't think I let people down. I certainly work hard to follow through on my word, but we get asked a lot of questions at Midwest Murder. After every live show, we have a question and answer session with our audience. And we got hit with that question. And it being like a true crime podcast, you expect, oh, I'm scared of drowning or, burning to death or being murdered in my sleep. And like I was dwelling on that question for days afterward. And it's like, for me, I'm afraid of letting people down. And that was an interesting thing that was a light bulb moment for. So I kind of recently came to that conclusion, that reality.
It's a good self-reflection to know. What is one daily habit that you think has contributed to your success?
Drinking caffeine on some level.
Ha ha ha.
On some level, caffeine consumption is absolutely a contributing factor to my success. It's just undeniable.
I'm guessing there's a minimum and maximum threshold, though.
There is, and really surprising. It's funny. I accidentally quit drinking coffee. I was a big coffee guy, black coffee every day. I'd get gourmet coffee at our local coffee shop all the time. Well, and then in my pursuit of health and longevity, I came across a lot of suggestions, and a lot of people say, "Hey, you need more branched chain amino acids in your daily intake, your BCAAs." And yes, okay, I'm going for that. Well, the BCAA powder that I got has caffeine in it. And so the first day I mixed it up in the morning. I'm like, all right, great. And then I made my coffee and I took one sip of that coffee and I was like, God, my body didn't want it. And I was not expecting that result. And then I was like, well, maybe it's an off day. And the next day I again, and my body just didn't want it. And so now my caffeine comes through, it bubblers occasionally, but it's that morning, that BCAA powder. So I really do. It keeps me wired. It keeps me charged up. But all kidding aside, whether or not it's a daily habit, it is probably a 4 to 5 day a week habit. I'm very active and healthy and I exercise. And I do think that adds to a lot of clarity. It adds to energy and it just makes you feel good in so many different ways. Mentally, physically, spiritually. And, I started actively exercising maybe about 6 years ago. And it's one thing. I know another one of your questions is, hey, what would you tell your younger self? Get your butt to the gym. That's what I would tell my younger self. Start lifting a kettlebell. It'll feel way better than you think it will.
Well, it might actually lead into my next question, which was going to be, what's one thing you think more people would be successful if they did?
I really do think more people would be successful if they invested in themselves in the form of health and exercise. And it's whatever that looks like for you. It's so different for so many people. When I began exercising, it was a huge internal mental battle. I didn't want to do it. I had to fight this inner voice every day that would try to sabotage me on every level. It was so insane because I would be swimming. Like swimming is how I got started. I was a swimmer, so I got back into it by swimming 3, 4, 5 times a week. And eventually swimming became, I was doing basketball, then I'm running, and then it's pickleball, and then it's cycling. And then it kept going into more and more and more. Eventually I'm doing triathlons and now now I'm a big kettlebell guy and whatever. It had to start somewhere. And I had to fight that inner voice. Like I would be swimming and something like my goggles would mess up. And this voice in my mind would jump in and say, well, you should just quit. Just get out of the pool. You just got water in your eye. You just might as well call it a day.
We're done.
And I'd be like, no, shut up. Shut up in there. I'm finishing this mile. No. And so it was a real struggle. And I think that in that I gained strength both physically and mentally because I'm battling this voice. I'd be on the way to the gym, on the way to go swimming, and somebody would cut me off in traffic, and my brain would be like, well, that guy's a jerk. This day is bad. You might as well not even exercise now. Just go home. And so I really do think more people would find happiness and health by exercising and success.
And that underlying insight too of telling your hidden voice to be quiet sometimes.
It's there.
Taking control of it.
If I have it, I know other people do it. That's not unique to me.
No, I can relate. I think we could all relate to that one.
If you can overpower that inner voice and say, STFU, I'm doing this, you're winning. It's such a big deal.
Yes. Jonah, how do you psych yourself up for a big pitch or a big presentation?
Preparation every step of the way. I read, I reread, I reevaluate, I walk through it. I think about what will happen in my mind. So I really envision these situations. But for the most part, it's that preparation and then throw on the right song. If it's the last song I get to listen to before I'm walking into something, a great hype song that gets me in the moment. Those are the big ways in which I get myself up. But I think, Elizabeth, that preparation, having confidence in what you're about to say. Before I'm on stage saying something in front of a live audience, you can rest assured I've read that 4, 5, maybe 6 times. Maybe not out loud. I don't usually read it out loud, but I've read it personally inside and out. So I know it front to back.
Do you have a favorite quote?
So I do have a couple of favorite quotes. Being a podcaster, it's always hard for me to limit myself to just one thing. So just a couple. What matters most is how well you walk through the fire. It's a Bukowski quote, easily one of my favorites. Another from my favorite book, The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, is when we love, we always strive to become better than we are. When we strive to become better than we are, everything around us becomes better too. And I think those are probably 2 of my favorite quotes. And final Bruce Lee quote. Bruce Lee, my number one hero and icon growing up. The first person I would probably ever in my life have applied the term hero to, Bruce Lee. If you always put limits on everything you do, physical or anything else, it will spread into your work and into your life. There are no limits. There are only plateaus, and you must not stay there. You must go beyond them.
So good. So good. I've kept a quote book since I was a kid. I'm going to have to add a few more to mine, I think. How do you incorporate joy in your journey?
Spending time with my family, making people laugh, making them laugh, and building experiences with the people that I care about. The greatest thing that we have in life is time. The most limited thing that we have is time. And what gives our life meaning? It's the way we spend our time. And the way we spend our time to give it value is by having connections with people that we love. And so that's what I do to create joy. I like to tell people that if you can, put more love into the world than you take from it. And I think those are like the key ways for me that I incorporate joy.
I love that. My family periodically takes the challenge of trying to get someone else in the family to laugh. And those are the best moments, especially when you can get them completely uncontrolled, hiccuping in laughter. It's amazing.
Yes, it absolutely is.
And my last question, Jonah, because this is Cake on Tuesday, what is your favorite kind of cake?
Cheesecake. Just give me a delicious, yummy, decadent, fluffy cheesecake. Strawberry cheesecake, blueberry lemon. I won't say any kind of cheesecake, but really glorious, beautiful, wonderful cheesecake.
Sounds really good. Sounds really good right now.
All right.
Thank you, Jonah, so much for being here for Cake Bites.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth.
Thanks for joining another Cake on Tuesday celebration of beautiful disruption. Please share it, review it, and find more innovative stories at podcast.cakeontuesday.com. I'm Elizabeth Bieniek. Be bold, stay curious. Now go have some cake.